3-7 camp in a lovely smallish town called Weibling, which, if you haven't really got a clue of German cities, is basically right next to Stuttgart. My name is Logan, and today I'm joined by an absolute legend. He's played for teams such as Dignitas or H2K, and his name is Menace.
Hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to some CoD4. It's been a long old while.
It's definitely been quite a long time. However, I mean, thinking about it, we already had, this is the second Stuttgart LAN tournament for all of you guys out there that haven't, quite caught on with this scene in the most recent times, let's just put it that way. So we've already had a tournament right around here. I think it was in April, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. However, we've now got 3 lovely days of CoD4 action packed for you guys out there. Basically, we're going to have the grand final on Sunday. We've got 15 different teams set up in 2 different groups, which obviously means we've got 8 teams in one group, 7 in the other team, 7 in the other group, and they're just going to battle it out over the next 3 days for a grand prize pool of €4,000. There's lots of stuff to win. There's not only cash prizes, we've also got medals as well as these lovely trophies, especially the quite sizable one in the background. It might not quite actually look as big as it is because it's very far in the background. You can't really tell how far it actually is in the background because everything is on like a green screen. So it doesn't look very big, trust me, it is absolutely massive. Most importantly, I'm just here to see probably the best CoD4 we've ever seen. That was something that people really couldn't quite comprehend when we had the LAN in April. Like the level of CoD4 we've got these days is far beyond what we had back in the day. It might sound a bit ridiculous because we're like, oh, but back in the day we had Stevie and back in the day we had Climax. Do you want to know what happened to Climax on the April LAN? He got absolutely destroyed. Good old Moose, including Tid, they really didn't make it that far. However, Climax is not going to be here at this LAN tournament this weekend, simply due to the fact I think he's had his, I think it's the 3rd child, I'm not quite sure, only a few months ago. So due to that, he sadly couldn't make it. However, Menace is obviously here, and he will be taken over on Sunday, as I sadly have to go back home on Saturday night. Not exactly what we had planned, but I mean, we also had planned for you to be here, Menace, but
yeah,
due to no fault of your own, it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, no, like you say, really exciting times ahead. As you touched on there, times have changed over the years. Many of the maps, that what we used to know as being defense-sided or attack-sided has changed over time. And, some maps are now just equal. Some maps have completely changed hands back and forth to either side and then back again. To this day, people are still finding new little spots to nade and smoke and cover their attacks and try different strategies. SMGs have become a lot more brazen compared to what they were back in the day. Scopes are still the undeniable powerhouse in a team, and in a weekend like this, we see some of the absolute top class of scopes coming out. I'm really looking forward to seeing Zabza. One of the first games we're going to be hopping into, we'll be watching Doki is going to be scoping. That's going to be loads of fun to watch. Neither on scope as well. Fantastic sniper. So really looking forward to seeing that one start off. So we've really got a whole weekend packed with a bunch of action to come our way.
Exactly. Basically, we've got We're Equal versus Kolegove at 1 PM, aka exactly right now, and we will be joining that match in a matter of seconds. After that, we've got Ari Papa, a full-on Greek lineup that I think I've literally just signed up for this tournament 10 days ago or something like that, against Wapanda, the team that already had quite a good performance last LAN. After that, at 7 PM, we've got TLR versus Reason Gaming. Yeah, the old OG guys are back. Looney's at it again. And after that, we've got Snip, the champions of the last LAN, versus We Dem Boys that were definitely popping off in screams yesterday. But with that being said, I think we should really just jump into the game, into the first match. prepared for you guys. And the first map will, in fact, be Crash. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it is Crash. So I had a quick little look at the team sheet on the background. I'm sure you're going to be running through them in a second and introduce them to our wonderful viewers. Just to give you the map picks so far, though, we have so it's We Are Equal versus Kolegove, and We Are Equal banned Crossfire. So not keen for the long-range engagements, want something close range, and we can see that because their pick was Backlot. What also possibly then plays into their favor was Kolega then chose Crash as their map, which is the first map that we're starting on today. Kolega's ban was Strike, and the decider will be City Streets. Now, I actually joined into the server just before we joined into stream, and it was insane because Doki got a triple with a sniper on B alley already, just like straight up starting us off, and I was like, I'm going to try and keep calm.
Doki's already popping off right here. Second frag of the round. Finds Soper, who I think is probably... I mean, Scopes, as you've already mentioned, the Scopes really have a lot of power, but I do think Soper is sort of the backbone of We Are Equal.
I could agree with that. Unfortunately, we're still in a situation where it's a 1 versus 3 right now, which is never fun for anyone to be in. We've got Wacky, who's making his way towards that bottom A side. Bomb's not anywhere near him. He's only got about 35 seconds. Seems like it was a bit of a rough start on the round, and it looks like Equal kind of know where he's going to be as well. As he comes up against Buki, he takes out 1. Now, unfortunately for Buki, not having a great game right now. He's on 0 for 4. Jayska gets up with the cleaning kill, and that's going to mean Equal clawed back 1 round, but the team need to wake up a little bit, I feel, looking over at the Equal side.
100%. However, Doki's popping off already, but neither is as well. I mean, just to start off, you've mentioned, you know, the scopes are going to be big. Turns out they are actually going to be absolutely massive. We're going to have a look at what Doki is doing once again. Just trying to find those opening frags.
Now, what's quite interesting is, like, I'm usually expecting SMGs to start opening up fire here. I'm usually maybe expecting AKs to put on cover, and it's just nearly quiet on the battlefield. Doki's made his way over onto the glitch. He does take out the scope for Kolega, and that's going to be a great start for him. He knows there's one towards that blue house, and he's got a team actually joining him up onto the glitch area. You know, why not stack him up? Over on the A side, though, looks like Kolega finally going to start making their push into the site. We've got a 3 versus 5. Aladrin's going to make it a 3 versus 4. Poor Buki still struggling the way to get himself onto that scoreboard. But listen, it's LAN jitters. Everyone starts Wacky with a fantastic little peek and tap to take out 1. Oh my gosh, Walking came in from behind, but he was able to get 1. Oh, sorry, Jaysk even. 2-on-2 now. Bomb's making his way onto site. Doki the scope's gonna spam away, see what he can get. Let's watch him as he moves his way up onto the sandbag.
Oh, Aladrin's been spotted. Takes a bit of damage. Now he's gonna go onto A top.
One-on-one and an interesting one for it to be, and Doki's going to try and spot over that bomb, but he knows that the bomb is actually being planted directly behind the site. Aladrin makes his way out of there really easy. So he's not going to come into too much pressure. Doki's got to push up. He doesn't have a secondary. Of course, Aladrin won't know that. Flash goes in. Oh, and the perfect timing is Doki with the Deagle's going to finish up the round and clean it up.
Doki, absolute monster.
15 kills. 15. Walking's on 1 assist for 5 deaths. Buki's on 5 deaths with nothing else to his name. And Doki's he's like, all right, boys, I guess I'm carrying us this game.
I mean, he certainly is. 15 kills in 6 rounds. He's, you know, averaging about 2.5 kills each round. That's just absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, at best you hope 1 for 1. You know, if I get a kill and die, at least I've done my bit in the round. But the fact that Doki is doing so good, neither sitting way back in the spawn with his scope. He doesn't want to, you know, he doesn't want to be too aggressive here. It feels like nearly being pressured back by Doki and can't play the way he wants. Oh, he gets a tag onto Doki. And that just adds to it. Doki is, I'm not saying he's getting lucky, you know, we all get our lucky days, but to be able to take a round from an M403 and brush it off and carry on fighting for your team, anyone's going to count that a little bit lucky. Love now 1 versus 3. Got his SMG in hand. He's got players all around him. I think it's actually going to be the one from top B alley that might finish him off in this scenario. Oh no, that player has now given away his position. Blood peeking out, and he's getting sprayed from everywhere. He's constantly in the red. Doesn't get the refresh, and that's going to be him done for the round.
And with that, Kolegove are actually, in fact, moving away. I'm moving away is a bit BSy, if I'm being honest.
I think it is a tough one in
the
this
lead.
scenario because, you know, way back in the day, I've seen people go 11-1 on defense and then tie it 11-1 on the other side. So this used to be such a strong defense map, but like now we're seeing Kolegove actually point in the lead. Can we still say it's an attacking map or a defensive map? I don't know. It feels like it's just going to come down to the team strats and how they play it out.
Do you think this map is sort of... I think last LAN, the overall consensus was basically that this map is very much defense-based, or sort of, you know, favoured. Is that still the way people would see Crash as a map?
I personally would. However, we got to remember that this was Kolegove's pick. So maybe this is their map. It's hard to say where it's attack and defense when, you know, this might be the one map that Kolegove have stratted out to a T. You know, in the scenario of a 1 versus 3 where Wacky's on his own. He does have the bomb, but again, he's on his own. It's going to be tough. Doga's going to finish on just adding to his insane kill counts already. So it's tough to say, only because this was Kolegove's pick. But Equal do look like they are neutralizing, you know, the advantage right now.
Some of the threats going on basically is, I think, what you're trying to mention. At least some of the risks. But I mean, basically, if this is defense-based and they're currently 4 square, that would mean it would be some sort of an advantage for them.
Yep.
As neither does actually spot someone going.
But like you can see, neither's really hanging back, I feel. Not making his way up onto that blue area. He's trying to get the picks over towards A. Maybe this is just the way he feels most comfortable playing with it. But Doki, who's moving around so much on the defensive side, is getting picks left, right, and center. Even on neither himself, just as neither moves. So, yeah. Hong Kong, 1 versus 4. Doesn't even get a chance to do anything. And Buki, is that a kill for Buki? What, 2?
No, that was definitely not going to happen. That was quite an obvious one. I mean, Neva is well known to be quite a defensive player, in that he does really stand quite far back. He's trying to make... he's not really got this flashy play style. You know, we've got quite a few players. They're a bit more flashy, maybe a bit more diva. That's definitely not Neva's playstyle. However, in general, he is one of the top fraggers in Team Kolegove.
Completely agree with that one. Although it is Awake. It's currently front running it for the team. 2 versus 4. Make that a 1 versus 4. We've only got Awake. And it needs to be on the top of the team. Can he be on top form? No, I can't even finish my sentence. Buki has finally woken up and in 2 rounds has gotten 4 kills. So all of a sudden, quick wake up for the Equal team now that they have nearly the full complement of the team actually working.
And those were 2 very decisive rounds as well, to be fair. I mean,
Neither trying to go for the pick, trying to challenge Doki, but it's not going to work. Again, Doki getting that early pick, setting his team up well. A nade from Doki, another nade from Sopa, and I mean, yeah, I guess we can talk about something else. I kind of feel like we know which way this round's going to go.
Sadly, yeah. I mean, these rounds, they're just starting off on the wrong foot, perhaps, once again and again. But I do also have the feeling that they're making it a bit too easy for Doki.
Absolutely. Now, Legend, unfortunately, his teammate was so far away, didn't have bomb in hand, nothing that could help him. And as we're going to the last round of the half, I mean, I was impressed. So, Kex and the We Wild Boys, or We Dem Boys, that team, you know, Kex dropped a 30 bomb in the final round. I thought, man, that's really cool. LAN starting off strong and this and that. And I'm looking at Doki. He's on 23, and he's not even at the halfway point.
That is absolutely mental. I mean, he's average, you know, still well above 2 kills every single round.
I think this is the first team kill of LAN. We had Wacky getting team killed by his teammate, which I don't think many people saw coming. Which doesn't help the team. You're already struggling, and you're like, let me just Finish it off sooner. Put us out of our misery.
But with that,
No,
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, now trying to see what Kolegove can do to bring this back on defense. Again, this was their pick. It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, 8-4 is a sizable lead, but it was a lead that on the previous LAN, you know, it was something that people would, you'd be like, oh, well, you know, they have a 4-point lead. On our Crash, it seemed like it wouldn't matter at all.
Yeah.
People, as you've mentioned, they would literally go, they'd be up 8, 9, 10 rounds, and then they'd lose 10 in a row.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the kind of like 7-5 was the good halftime if you were on a defensive or an attacking map and you had that advantage. But yeah, to have the 8-4, that extra round, makes a whole bunch of difference, because even if you only get every second round at this point, you're in for a draw. So they yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Kolegove try and pull out for this one to bring it back. But again, Doki, man. Now, on the defensive side, he had the freedom to be able to use their spawn to move left and right, you know, up and down, going onto glitch. Does he have that same freedom when he goes onto the attacking side? Is it neither's chance to now try and finally wake up and take it to the other scope?
I mean, at some point, they are definitely going to have to pick up their pace. Wacky 6 and 12, Walkong 4 and 10. Not really the sort of performances I was expecting, to be honest, because Walkong is, I mean, this might be a bit controversial, but I genuinely think he's probably got the best overall aim of every single player in this entire tournament. Not because he's the sort of guy, you know, he's not like the flashy sort of flick shot guy. But he's the one that just, I don't know, lands every single shot whenever it really, truly matters.
Yeah. I think it is also interesting to take note that no one on Kolegove has a positive KD ratio. Not one. They're all struggling. And only 3 of the 5 are positive on the other side. So people struggling to get out the starting blocks this LAN. I mean, of course, we have the second map to bring it back on, but you don't want to rely on that. You don't want to play for the maybes, you want to play for the definites. Now, Doki already for me after the first round's halfway making his way into that B alley. He's got a bit more of aggression. Good start from Equal on the attacking side. Ladrin is going to shut down Blub though. Interesting to see what Doki's going to try and do. He knows the player is there. He can hear him by the car. Can you see him behind anything though? He's waiting for even a pixel of movement. Very wiggly player. So it won't just be caught out sitting flat. Oh, and we do have the player pushing up. Deagle in hand. Doki, is he going to be able to do anything? Nah, Walking's going to push up. To be fair, Walking at that point I don't feel had too much to lose. Gets himself a second one as well as he takes out Sopa. Now, didn't have too much to lose. Like we said, he was a bit sitting on the bottom of the scoreboard. He needs to try and do something for his team. He's definitely changed it up here, and it's not looking too bad. Jayska with Bomb, though, behind everyone. Now, his best scenario is he's going to get this first pick onto Jayska. Never mind. Sorry, onto Ladrin even. He cancel everything I said. Next round.
Let's just have a look at what Wacky is actually doing. Because I was told that he is the god of defending bomb sites. At least that's what Looney's told me. So
yeah,
we'll have a
now,
look
as
at
a man
how
who
doing.
used to play AK on B Alley pretty much all my life on this map, I'm loving watching these movements. Being this far progressive, you don't have much cover in case something comes in. He's got to watch out for the nades. A little bit lucky on that SMG pick, and the problem is now he's kind of stuck. He knows that the sniper's going to be at the top of the street. In my opinion, re-peeking this, quite dangerous, and as so, he's going to fall back. Your best bet here is you've gotten your pick, stay back. Again, peeking the scope, to me, is a ballsy move, but, you know, fair dues to him that he does it. He's got his eyes over on A. He's heard his teammates call, say that there is something going on there.
Explosives planted.
Bomb actually goes down, which, correct me if I'm wrong, first time in this game. We've only had kills ending the round so far, so to actually get a bomb going down is quite nice.
We did
Before
have a bomb going down, however.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Because that was, you know, when Doki pulled up with the Deagle and just straight out.
Oh yeah, he did, and he.
I think it was Aladrin who he took
Yeah.
out right there. But let's once again have a look at what Neva's trying to do. Just trying to get those shots onto blue building.
You kind of hope he pulls the trigger and lands a double as he stares into that smoke. Now, we've come quite far into the round compared to the others where not too many have gone down. Commentator's curse, 3 people have died.
That's always how things go.
You know what? Some of these players are starting off slow. I think I'll start off slow with my commentary this weekend.
That's perfectly fine as well. This is generally, I think, the first bit of casting in quite a sizable amount of time.
Oh yeah. I mean, my last time
I basically moved away from casting because, yeah, it simply didn't pay the bills. So now I make videos.
Well, I have the fun story of I used to commentate CoD4 with a little man by the name of Trevor Quickshot Henry. And then he started playing this new beta game called League of Legends, and I was like, dude, this game's stupid. No one's going to play this game. And he commentated it left, right, and center. And, well, yeah, I guess we know who made the better decision on that one.
100%. I can only agree on that. Basically, I didn't start playing League until about 2011. When I moved to the UK, and someone told, the family I was, living with, their son, he was like, "Oh, you need to try that game." And for my whole life, up to that point, I never gave it a try. I was like, "No, it's absolute garbage." CoD Pro mode is the way to go. Instantly fell in love with the game. However, I didn't end up casting League of Legends until about 2017. So those 6 years gone, they really did make things quite difficult because at that point I did loads. I basically did everything, at least in Germany. I did everything except like World Championship, but imagine if we both would have jumped onto that train slightly earlier.
So I'm loving this. We have an official, what I believe to be, tactical timeout. I mean, we have to bring it up here. Kolegove's won 1 point so far. Equal or 1 point away from getting at least a minimum draw on this map. 2 points away from taking the first map. So Kolegove are definitely on the back foot. Scoreboard wise, not looking great. The kill death ratios are falling behind, and it's not a spearhead player. It's not one person not carrying the weight. They all pretty evenly spread. Whereas Equal on the other hand, playing strong. Doki 26-5. You just hope he didn't use all of his skill in the first game.
Let's not hope
that. Can you imagine?
but it really wasn't what I was expecting, because I think Kolegove placed 3rd on the previous LAN. They definitely placed well. Honestly, let me just have a look. They placed, they placed 3rd on the previous LAN, and I sort of went into this thinking, okay, Equal their 2nd seed. But
the skill gap shouldn't be that big.
No, it shouldn't be that. No, it really shouldn't. Especially considering the fact that Soper so far isn't doing that great, and Soper on a defense-based map would have been my choice for, okay, he's sort of, the player to watch.
Absolutely. I do wonder what they're trying to talk about to each other on this one. Is it trying to say we need to try and get more early picks? Where are you thinking? Where do you think they can try and turn this one around?
Honestly, I think they're just taking too many risks at this point. We just see them peeking Doki left and right. When, honestly, they're in no situation to start, going for these, let's say, ever so slightly ballsy plays.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, I would have said Kolegove have quite a good nade setup as well. Equal are almost impossible to beat in terms of their nade game.
Yeah.
But it seems that Kolegove, they've got a really, really reactive playstyle, and so far that has not worked at all.
So what's worked out wonderfully here, though, Blub had a front spawn going towards that A site, and he's picked up 2 quick kills as Awake and Eladrin both go down. He's popped a smoke, his teammates are in, bomb's going to be coming up soon enough, if we're able to get that down. Kolegove are going to have no response to this. In my mind, this round's already sealed with the way their bomb's about to go down. Soper's going to drop, sure. Walking's going to push forward, but he's got 3 players in that site to try and do something about. Neither takes up Blub, who was the one that cleared out that site to start with. Jace got a wonderful little jumping kill. Buki with a second one to follow it up. And you got 1 man left standing, and Buki finishes him off too. So 3 players get all 5 kills, get the bomb down, and now we're a match point. That massive timeout, and that round lasted less than half of that timeout.
I mean, it started off not particularly well.
No.
So let's have a look at what Blub is doing once again. However, he does get taken down with the nade immediately. And with that, it is actually the first round where Kolegove are the ones to pick up to, let's just say, easy frags early on. And now 4 versus 2. If this is not their sort of, round to pick up, then honestly, I'm a bit at a loss of words.
Now, we saw Walking pushing up on B alley the one round. This round, he's gotten into mid, he's sitting in the doorway, and he's covering this off. The discipline has definitely changed, at least in this player so far. They've been able to make their way down B alley. Walking hasn't been able to spot that. And Soper and Doki have a bit of a challenge on their hand, but somehow I still kind of back them to a degree. Doki gets the scope. Uncharacteristic miss as he whiffs the shot over towards B alley. Now he's got to try and cover his teammate. Bomb does go down. Again, he's going to get himself in a really good position here. Flash comes in. They know where he is. And it's now a case of each of these players have got to defend themselves against 2 others. Doki coming under heavy fire. Can his teammate do anything to help? Unfortunately not. Soper goes down. Wonderful shot from Doki's second shot coming up. This is where he goes down.
Honestly, if he would have made that 1 versus 4,
that was insane.
If I would have been, Team Kolegove, I'd have just straight up rage quit it. Out of 4, be completely done with today.
Yeah, that's where you pull out the League of Legends surrender option. You just
FF15.
Boys, we surrender. Yeah. Let's. We're done. Now, looking at the front spawns, we actually have got a front spawn here from Buki with the SMG. Gonna follow him in quickly. He makes his way to the side, avoids all the nades. Unfortunately, Eladrin was just a bit more awake and was able to pick him off. I do like the fact that Walking has gotten himself into a position where he can have a bit more of a forward presence, and he's sitting still. He's not trying to peek up that B alley. He's just hoping that his teammate is covering that area. But even then, these 3 players that are up for equal are all strong players in themselves. Doki takes out Neither, but not before his teammate drops, and looks like Soper's going to fall as well. 1 versus... No, it doesn't matter.
At least, the 12th round that Equal were able to pick up, we were like, did that timeout actually do anything? Right now, it sort of looks like they're picking up at least some sort of rounds.
But it is only 2. And unfortunately, we started in the round with, speaking of 2 players have gone down to a single nade. You never want people stacking up that early in the round as much as they want to try and get into the same position at the same time. It's nearly death for your team. Now, Kolegove have really turned this around.
Walkong, my friend, you need to pay for some sort of beer for Neva right there, because he just absolutely saved your ass.
I'm kind of backing Doki in this situation. He's got a 1 versus 2. He knows where 1 is, finishes him off without taking any damage. Not that it matters, because he'll regen anyway. Problem is, he doesn't have the bomb. If he had stayed in that position and watched towards back A, he might have spotted that player, but now he knows where he is, and this is nearly a death sentence for either one of these. They know where the other person is, and now it's all about the mind games. Doki peeking towards back A. Wakey has just decided that he's going to go and sit in the middle of the site, which is fine. He just wants to cover that bomb. He knows there's only 30 seconds left, so Doki's probably going to have to either pick up this bomb and sprint his way over to B, which I think is now his time's run out for that. I don't think he has a chance. Wacky's got the bomb right in front of him. So here's the question: does Wacky just wait it out?
He
I mean,
really
Doki.
should.
Does Doki know? I'm not sure Doki would. He's called the bluff. Doki's going to go for the plant, but it's going to be coming down to the kill. Doki gets it.
Oh my god! I have no. Who on earth is this Doki guy?
32 kills.
You know, we were like, oh, Bluck, you know, Kex dropped a 30 bomb
kills.
early on, and
They say good half. I'm like, I'm done with the game. That was too much for one game.
God, bloody hell! I mean,
now we get a second one.
absolutely crazy what he was pulling off right there. Do you know what the second map?
Second map's going to be City Streets.
Oh,
no,
City
Backlot.
Streets.
Wait. Backlot. Yes, Backlot. Even better, because I love me a Backlot. Look, I get some people despise it's a love-hate relationship. Some people are just okay with it, or they absolutely hate it. No one just kind of dislikes it. I love Backlot. Backlot is like the map for me.
My favourite ones were definitely Backlot or Crossfire. Those were like the two maps that I just...
See, as an AK, it sucked, because anytime I peeked on Crossfire, my head was taken off. And sure, it might just be a skill issue on my side, but it sucked. Strike, I enjoyed as well. Back when I was playing for H2K, I was the scope, and you know, me and Strike played really well. But as I switched off, because you know you get old and your aim sucks, I switched to AK. And Strike, there's quite a few people I've played with in competitions where I play Strike with an M4 silenced, and it is the bane of their existence because there's zero recoil on the weapon.
Yeah, true.
And they never know where it's coming from.
That is actually quite an interesting point, because at the start of Pro Mod, it really, like, there were more people actually using the M4, and I can remember that. Because honestly, the damage wasn't too bad, and you could just absolutely spray down until there's literally no tomorrow. Because as I've mentioned, the weapon had what felt like close to zero recoil.
I mean, the really old days of the PAM mod.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was just M4. But then you also had the fixed aspect or the fixed FOV, and it was
that was exactly what I was going to say, because I don't think it was fixed, but you basically, you know, you had the base FOV, and then you could adjust the FOV scaling. So you know how you could have an FOV somewhere between 65 and 80, and you only got the 90 FOV by adjusting the FOV scale
of it,
to 1.125.
And
I think PAM didn't have that. I think you could adjust the FOV, but you were sort of limited to that 80 max range. But even then, there were quite a few people actually back then that preferred playing on 65 FOV. I remember Stevie was definitely like the #1 guy for, do you know what? I'm not going to change any of this. And Steve was really interested in the fact that he had crazy low in-game sense, but like bonkers DPI. I remember that. He had like 0.14 in-game sense, which is
that's
unbelievably low.
I mean,
but then he had like 3600 DPI or something like that.
Yeah, to kind of combat it a little bit. So my standard measurement is, I always forget the DPI sensors in-game, and then of course operating system. My default is a 45 centimeter mouse pad is a 180 degree turn.
It's exactly what I had. Slightly lower than that. Even I had somewhere between. I had the 45. You know that, what was it called? Obviously,
mine's a QCK heavy.
This is not an advert, obviously, but it's the good old SteelSeries Quick Plus Fnatic edition. You know, if you haven't got the Fnatic or H2K mouse pad, then obviously you can't pop off like the pros.
For anyone that doesn't know mouse pads or doesn't use mouse pads, this is the kind of thing we're talking about. This bad boy.
Exactly. Yeah, and I had about 50 sort of centimeters for a 360.
Yeah.
And I played AK as well, so that does make sense. And back then,
for a 360. Oh, I'm half that.
What the heck?
So I was.
I was 180. I'm not sure.
The width of the mouse pad was turning around.
Oh, God, what the heck? Okay,
Yeah.
that's. I had about
You want-
just over 50 centimeters for a
Yeah.
360.
So you know what, mouse sensitivities we can talk about until we're blue in the face. Mouse inversion though,
Oh,
that
God.
is to me is not a thing. That's not something you touch. You don't. Why would you
No,
ever change
no,
that?
no.
However, one of the top scopes at this event, Kekstar, plays with mouse inverted for up and down. So his character looks down when he moves the mouse up, and it makes me sick every time I see it. And I played with
Yeah.
him on my team for a number of years. It broke me every time.
I'm just trying to read up on it, but I do honestly think that there was someone who won. Yeah, no, it was Isno from Team Out of Reach, and he won 3 out of 4 lands. No, it wasn't him. Someone won. No, yeah, it was Cookie, the Croatian AK from Out of Reach, and he won 3 lands without a mouse pad. I kid you not, he just had his mouse on the desk.
Intense.
As Doki finds an opening frag onto Aladrin.
Quick little refresh here as we jump into the first game. If you have just joined us, this is the Stuttgart CoD4 LAN. This is the first round in our groups. We have got Kolegove versus Equal, and right now, Equal are sitting 1 map point up. We are on Equal's map pick though, which is going to be interesting for them. And one of the interesting things for me about Backlot is what I do see a lot of teams do is the scope will drop. So they'll drop a scope and they'll pick up an extra AK. Because this is Backlot, you can shoot through everything. So for this one, we actually only have Doki on scope at the minute. Neither has dropped it. He's picked up an AK. He's adding to the firepower.
He's actually opted for the M4, if you've just seen that.
Which I love. I love that for him.
Yeah, on it though. Yeah, he's gone back to the scope, but I do find it really interesting because on the previous LAN I talked with Tiggs about whether one showed up for an additional AK and just dropped the scope, and he was like, yeah, it's definitely something people could do, and then nobody did it. Every single team was like, you know what, I want that scope. And to be fair, it actually paid off really, really well because previously LAN we had some absolutely bonkers aggressive scopes. In the past, it would be like, oh, can he get the shot from all of the way back? And previous LAN, it was like scopes just deagling down SMGs left and right.
Yep. But to me, Backlot is the map for the SMGs, if anything. Bombs towards the A site seems limited coming in from Kolega. Equal have kind of made their way fairly uncontested into that site to be able to defend it. Blub's gone straight forward. Eladrin's actually pushed all the way to the top of the ruins area with Deagle in hand, and I mean that Deagle might as well be a sniper in the hands of any half-good player. He has spotted an AK. It is Jayska. He goes down, and he's going to chase out there as quick as he can. He's not expecting Soper, though, who finishes him off for the returning frag. Soper gets himself a second one. Is he going to go for a third in this? Wacky's challenging him, but Buki coming in from the side, helping him out, walking with the return frag once again, and Walking's actually gotten himself in a cute little spot. I love this little jump.
How did he end up getting on top of that?
So there's a tree, and once you jump on that tree from... I think you can do it from the roof of mid. I mean, no, you can do it from the roof of mid. I don't know if there's a new one that you know about, or if there's a new one about, but yeah.
Because I
not
didn't
considered
see
a
him
glitch.
Go onto mid roof.
Yeah. So not considered disallowed because he's still completely visible. He's not created a one-way for himself, and we do see a timeout.
Ooh, spicy, spicy.
This time the other way around.
Yeah, that's the surprising part, because on the previous map we were like, it's Kolega's choice, blah blah, why on earth are Equal winning? And now it's Equal's map. And they're just getting absolutely smacked in the first 3 rounds straight.
That they are.
And I mean, with that being said, I do get why they call the timeout, because I'm the sort of guy, I would always try to go for these timeouts, rather sooner than later, Because there's nothing like, oh, we've got, okay, you know, boys, you know, I don't know, do the most epic speech on how we're going to win the next 10 rounds in a row. You know, realistically, it's not going to happen. It's better to, you know, perhaps preserve your mental, go for that timeout early on.
For me, when it comes to timeout is, yes, it might be good for my team, but equally, I'm giving the opponents an opportunity. They also have an equal amount of time now to discuss things. Sure, it's not on them to pick when the game then carries on, but they can also have a chat now. They can maybe fix a nade that wasn't working the way they were expecting it to. They can, they can maybe set up a quick little cheeky strat if they've noticed the hole in the opponent's defense. So, yeah, kind of goes a bit both ways for me on this one. But for the sake of equal, we hope that this works in their favor.
100%, and that's definitely something to mention, because on the previous LAN, especially sort of, you know, regarding day 2 and day 3, teams were incredibly keen to get any sort of look on what other teams were doing. And, you know, just taking notes and, oh, you know what, oh, he's streaming on Twitch, everybody join in, I want to know what they're doing. And that was, I think, part of the reason why Snip won the previous LAN was really because they were incredibly coordinated. Oh, Durkee with a gold frag onto Walkong.
Now, interesting for me about that one is the fact that, yes, he got the revenge frag, but the fact that Walking got into top A with an AK uncontested by any grenade, to me shows a big old loophole, or a big old gap in the defense of equal. So they're not stopping players getting into A quickly enough. We do have a 2-on-2 though. Neither and Wacky versus Soper and Jayska.
Oh my god, he gets small banged by Soper.
And that's such an old school. I mean, that wallbang's been there for so long. People
It's literally been there for decades.
To that. Yeah, it's literally. Oh, that's scary to think. It's been decades. Oh yeah, we're coming up.
I mean, it's not been decades,
6 years.
But no.
In 6 years, we're coming up to the 20th anniversary of the game.
Yeah, 2007. I think it was 7th of November, something like that.
Oh no, sorry, 07, yeah.
Yeah, 7th of November of 2007. So it's literally been more than 17 years since, at least in my opinion, the greatest esports title or esports FPS title.
Explosives planted.
Well, it's taken enough years of our life that we kind of have to tell ourselves at this point. Because imagine you spend all these years on it, you're like, you know what, the game was mid. It wasn't that great.
Honestly, it's still to this day, I absolutely love it. I did plenty of, league casting. Travelled basically everywhere where one could, travel to. Oh, neither. Trying to find those
taken out 2 already, and he's got the M4 in hand. Scope's gone.
Oh,
what a wonderful spray! What a wonderful spray for the clutch.
We've discussed the M4. It's like, you've got the spray, you don't have the recoil, just go for it. And Neva actually picking up all of those frags. That was really well done. But no, I honestly think that, yeah, the game's quite old these days. But it still has a sort of, it hits a sweet spot that that's never really been, satisfied by any sort of title after that. So if you want to get involved in CoD4 mode again, all you have to do is head over to fpschallenge.eu, sign up, and then put your Steam ID onto the website. And that's literally all you have to do in order to play solo queue. And yeah, you heard that right. fpschallenge.eu, we've got a fully working solo queue. We've got in the system, we've got an anti-cheat sheet. We have literally got everything that you could have ever dreamt of. Right now, CoD4, in terms of what we can actually offer to people, is probably at the best, sort of point
best in
time.
Been,
yeah, best it's ever been.
You kind of wish it was around a few years ago.
Explosives planted.
Just the service, the solo queue. There's cups every single week. We've got the second LAN this year already. And Walkong, on the previous map, we sort of doubted him. We were like, he's an absolute monster when it comes to aim. And that's the point I made. And he wasn't popping off, but right now, he certainly is.
Wukong's staring up at the sky, making sure there's no nades. He does a nice little bounce on that back window to get towards the top of mid. Does get some sighting over on A. We'll take out Buki. And this is one of the things, you get the kill, you move. You shoot and scoot. Can't hang around for too long, otherwise your position's already given away. Might as well try and reposition and get yourself another one for the team. I mean, he's completely exposed. He's like a lollipop right now for any little kid that has a weapon. There we go. Jasko does pick him off finally. Wacky peeking out in mid. And finally, do we have equal waking up a bit here? I mean, over on the scoreboard, Doki's sitting with a negative KD ratio. It's definitely a struggle for him. He lost man standing 1 versus 4. And it's one of those, yeah, they won a round, but oh my gosh, has it been painful to get here.
Yeah, does it matter? Yeah. Does it feel good? Not nowhere as good as it should feel, honestly. Buki not doing too well as well. Blue, I mean, he on Crash, he was great when it came to those rushes. And so far, he's not really been able to find those, you know, really quick SMG rush opening kills. But let's just have a look at what he's doing. As he finds the first target, can't connect it onto the second one, pulls out the Deagle. Trying to find neither.
Blub coming in from behind us and going to allow him to do too much there. Wukong, this is a bit of a shame. He's got 3 around him. He doesn't have bomb with him. He's going to get soap with the first one. He does have an SMG and he can do some close quarters. He takes out the second one. Is this going to be a 1 versus 3 clutch from him? Buki is definitely nervous in this scenario, but should get a fairly easy kill there as he finishes him off.
Yeah,
that would have 2 kills back to back on the trot.
That would have genuinely been a bit outrageous if Wukong would have been able to pick up all of those kills. That would have been absolutely cheeky.
But this is also a momentum switch. You know, this is maybe Kolega waking up and being like, right, okay, so we know where the nades land. No one's dying to early nades here. Any early picks here? We do see Blub taking that away. Galadrin is very cautious about the fact that he has someone pushing up on his side of the map. Jaska takes out one. Equal looking strong this round, walking with the first response for his teammates. Buki takes out Galadrin as the 2 stack up there over on that little rat hole area. Blub sitting front A. Neither is not going to be getting anything. And I'm saying this too much, but we have Wukong, last man standing, flashed to hell and high water, and Blub will add some lead to insult.
I know, Equal are definitely picking up these rounds. I mean, they just caught on rather quickly right now.
We got Neither with a front spawn, and I'm kind of curious to see if he's going to be rushing towards top A with this. No, he's going to be rushing towards mid instead. Which kind of means we might get a bit of scope on scope here, because you got Neither and Doki both playing over towards this ruins area. Wacky with the opening nade kill onto Jaska. Starts Equal off on the back foot. The Blub quickly equalizes that out. And unfortunately, that battle that we were hoping for, I don't think is going to come to fruition. SMG's trading back and forth again. A kill apiece. Blub's been spotted and hurt as an AK lays a few rounds on him. Wacky once again holding that bomb in mid. Always open to be able to rotate to whichever side he needs to.
No, Doki might be in a lot of trouble.
Spawn. Yeah. Look, in that scenario, even if you are good, you kind of need to have the SMG win on that. It's the only thing the SMG is good for at that point. Buki, now your last man standing, 1 versus 3. He's got Neither up with a scope. He's trying to peek that, feeling confident. Bomb's gone down. He does actually have the full complement of weaponry. Nice little close range SMG as well as the long range AK with what I would argue is a terrible skin. But we can leave that one open for debate.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised to actually see a skin. At least like a custom one. Custom ones are quite rare.
Yeah, it's like the Asimov one that people also use. I'm not a fan.
And you know what? Neither's actually gone for the M4 once again. And if I'm going to be absolutely honest, I think that was really the way to go for. Because so far, he's not really been able to pop off at all on the scope.
Yeah. And I think even if it doesn't work for him, the fact that he's switching back and forth keeps them guessing. You know, can I peek out in this area? Is their scope going to be up? Is there someone setting an Albin with a high position that can clean me off from a distance? Or, you know, we're just going to have a load more firepower and I'm going to have to sit a bit more careful in my spot. So, switching up from him definitely does work in this scenario. Crossfire coming in here on the ace side as Eladrin gets himself one. Watching his teammate also do their own bit of work. 2 versus 2 now. Jaska goes for the chase. He does drop down, takes out Eladrin. Now it's all on Wacky, and he is stuck between literal cement bricks and a hard place. As Jaska comes in from behind to finish him off. Jaska's going to get the defuse, grab himself. There's a couple extra points.
And slowly it might even look like we're not even going to go onto the 3rd map. Because right now, Kolegove, the most important point for me is they're not finding any sort of openings.
No.
At all.
No.
Blub and Buki, they're slowly trying to... they're slowly really popping off in terms of these sort of, you know, more rush-based scenarios. As Awake picks up Blub, however, Soper with the kill onto Wake and Eladrin with the retaliation.
But bearing in mind that we were sitting at one point, what was it, 5-1?
Yeah, it was 5-1 for Kolegove.
5-1, yeah. Kolegove had this huge lead and they've absolutely squandered it. And we might be going into the half with effectively what is 0-0, and they're playing for the first 1 to 7 rounds. Eladrin is making his way up onto this ruins area. Jaska's picked off his teammate at a distance, so he knows that he'll be able to have an AK to cover the rest of his team. But Jaska, with the game sense of so many, peeks back and takes out the SMG that was pushing him. Comes under fire. He's going to go for this repeak, and he knows he can. But will anything come from it?
Trying to find
watching
those
bottom A.
ball bangs onto Wacky. 21 seconds on the clock. They are going to have to move at some point. Trying to move on from 2 fronts. However, Wacky is able to pick up the first kill. And neither will take down Soper. However, he really hasn't decided on what sort of weapon he actually wants.
Doki, 7 for 9. Like I said, he used up all his skill in that first game.
It really looks like that, to be fair.
All gone. I love that neither's been playing the bomb so much that he's second on the team, even though he has 2 kills less than his next teammate. I don't want to downplay planting the bomb here. It was about the only way I could get points, you know, when you started playing high level and you start realizing you suck. So you're like, hey guys, I'll take the bomb because I need those 3 points.
As a halftime break is sort of, you know, completed quite quickly. With that, do you have any sort of player where you'd really like us to have a look at what he's doing?
You know what? I am curious about Soper. Bomb carrier now for the attacking side of Equal. I want to see how they're going to be setting this one up. Looks like he makes his way towards mid, and that's, again, is it where they're going to try and find the picks? They've started off strong here with 2 kills. Only 1 that they have to worry about. They are still sitting quite far back, but feels like it's an A. Now, having said that, they are an SMG down. And this is, I think, the difference with Equal and Kolegove. Kolegove were much more active in that push. Equal feel a lot more slow and methodical in trying to get those picks. Eladrin's rushing about as he tries to get in the next position. He's making so much noise. It's just completely given away. It feels a bit sloppy.
Yeah.
Because now it only leaves Awake left. And he's far away from anything but Equal. Take the lead for the first time.
Not the actual lead, you know, but they pick up another round.
They pick up another round, which puts them 7-6.
Exactly.
So
No.
Yeah.
6-7.
Oh, right. Wrong way around.
Oh my god. What the heck? That wallbang right there from Soper was absolutely ridiculous. Through the smoke, through the sort of, you know, tiny little fence. Finds another frag onto Wukong. And with that, all eyes on Aladrin. 1 versus 4. He's on the A
They're probably going to
side.
guess that Aladrin plays the A side, so yeah, they'll run it over to B. But what's interesting for me is that Sopa, who played bomb carrier last round, they actually switched it up and they gave it to one of the SMGs. Which, I'm not saying it frees a player up, but generally I find that it'll be the same player taking the bomb. But yeah, they attacked A both rounds, and the bomb ended up halfway towards B, and the other one Sopa didn't have to worry about.
But at least in like the most recent rounds, Equal have got more classic setup in. SMG's absolutely rushing in. Hold on to the nades a tiny bit later, you know, they're not throwing all of them out immediately. And blood, what the heck just happened?
So that was the round.
I couldn't even make my statement, and it was like, you know what, we're just gonna take this back home.
So Equal don't have any front spawns here. They're going to have to choose to be a bit slower. Walking, on the other hand, has got a fairly front spawn. He's going to go for the early nade, and then is he making his way into the A side? Bombs coming, or grenades coming in there from Equal is going to hold them back just a little bit. Sopa with the opening kill onto Jayska. And, that's your teammate, bud. Lub finishes off Awake, though. They're going to have to work a bit extra, though, after that team kill. Buki finishes off a Landrin. And Kolegove just seem to be dropping one by one, and slowly another one.
I mean, slowly but surely, Buki is popping off. I mean, he was bottom fragger just a few rounds ago, and I think he's picked up 5 frags in the last 2 rounds. And with that, Equal are actually pulling away. You weren't wrong. You were just sort of, you know, predicting the future of what was going to happen.
Exactly. So I knew it. It's definitely not what I intended to say that. Now, tactical timeout? That doesn't feel very tactical for me in this position.
No.
I mean, this feels more just like a I need to go to the bathroom scenario. Guys, can we take a quick break?
I do get their idea, you know. We just Equal are really close to hitting the, you know, the 2 digits, and obviously they don't want to put out their time out when it's, you know, 12 to, you know, 7 or God knows what. But it doesn't really feel like they've, you know, got a deciding idea of what they really want to change.
That's what I think too. Like, it doesn't feel like they were doing anything excessively wrong. It doesn't feel like there needs to be an immediate big change. I do agree that we're coming towards the latter rounds of the half, but what are they telling each other right now? You know, guys, let's switch up the SMGs. Let's put someone else on scope. It seems too absurd to even suggest.
Honestly, I would drop the scope, go through the M4 because it's worked better so far. I don't quite get why Neva's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go for this round. I'm going to go AK now. I'm going to go scope now. They're just trying out everything. Yeah. However, it feels like they've sort of, you know, switched their play style so often. Yeah. They're not even sure what actually works. It doesn't seem like they have a clear idea of how they want to play this map. Might sound a bit harsh, but it really does feel like that.
No, I'd agree with that sentiment. For the Kolegove side, we do see the Walking sitting himself on 17 and 14. So definitely the spearhead for his team on the scoreboard. Fairly evenly spread on the other side. Equal, only 6 kills difference between the top and bottom scorer. So nothing really stand out there at the minute. Except for Sopa's on 4 assists. As a man that's not getting the registration he wants at that LAN. Tagging everything.
But I mean, overall, I mean, Wukong is popping off. Neva's doing all right as well. But 7 in 15 and 7 in 12 really, they haven't really found their openings yet. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a
love,
bit
though.
surprising because Wacky was the guy I really expected to be an apt. I was told he is the god at defending. I haven't seen any of that yet so far.
Yeah. I'm loving Blub right now, though. He's made his way over towards the B side. He's had a bit of luck there, as he had a very quick rush. Nice front spawn. Completely fluffed his smoke into the side of a building, but hey-ho, he still got where he needed to be.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And I like the defensive style he's playing. He's kind of waiting for them to make a move. He does know that there's a player on top of 10. He might have been spotted at this point. Deagle out probably very shortly, and he's going to go for the picks. No, he keeps SMG in hand. Does get the kill onto Wake, though. Unbeknownst to him, there is a second player over there. It's not even walking. Who is that? Who is sitting up on the... Oh, okay, it was Wakey. He's dropped down. 2 versus 2. As we possibly put Equal only a couple rounds away from securing a draw. Of course, they're going to go for the win. Equal with the clear double push towards that A site. Which will work out well for them because the other 2 players have kind of placed themselves towards mid and B. Oh, Ladrin spotted them both. Great double deagle as he takes out Soper. Can he get the second kill? Blub re-peeking. He should have gone for the plants, I feel.
Yeah, because now he's sort of, you know, running out of time.
Yeah. And the thing is, he's going to get sprayed from the other side of the map. Or even from front. There you go. Spray's coming in. He's going to drop down. Don't feel like that was Equal's best player right there. It feels a bit greedy that he went back for the kill.
Definitely not. Because initially it felt like they were just out-rotating Kolegove. They were moving on to that A site. Kolegove was sort of moving all the way around B. And they had their clear chance, but they were too afraid to actually use it. They were like, oh no guys, let's go for the safe play. And yeah, it ended up sort of, you know, ruining their idea of how they were going to play that out.
So Walking just had the most incredible spawn, ran all the way through a rat hole, jumped on the wall, had a sight of about 4 players, and in sheer teenage excitement of like getting your first girlfriend, just completely whiffed it. Got 1 kill, missed every other shot and died.
Oh wow. I didn't see that one sadly, but I'll have a look at what Walkong is doing right now then.
Yeah, he's playing over towards their B side there, and it's interesting how the freedom he kind of has when doing this. Nice opening nade before he makes his way over towards A. But yeah, I mean, going from pushing over towards their B side to now playing bottom A, you know, changing it up enough that the opponents can't predict where you're going to go, but also still supporting your teammates.
Oh, Walkong might be in a lot of trouble as Blub does get taken down by Neva. It is a 3 versus 5.
How many Kolegove players are right in that middle area?
How many do you want right there? The answer looks like yes.
That was 4. Yeah. Kolegove takes out 1. I mean, he started over on that A site and he's died at the B bomb site. Wacky sitting at the back of 10, peeking over towards that low ruins area. Doesn't look like he's going to get a chance to peek anything though. Bomb in the hands of Soper. Can he get it down? Probably not, and only because neither's gone all the way back towards spawn and has a great cover for that lower ruins area. Doku goes towards top of the mid building. It's going to give him an oversight of the whole map. Looks like they're going to try and go towards A. They decided to rotate it back out. Now the big thing for them is they need to try and get their pick on A. They know there's going to be someone there. Shots coming in from Wacky on that mid area leaves Soap as the last man standing. Bomb probably not going to go down. Ladrin finishes them off. Equals lead only 1 point, but they hold on to it.
What's your sort of take on how teams usually play this map? Because so far it feels like A is not the way to go for. A is not the bomb site that's currently making things easy. Yeah. Because you're just so getting wall banged right there. It seems inevitable at some point. And even if they are actually able... Oh my god, Neva with an absolutely incredible shot tries to find that shot onto the 3-story building.
But yeah, so for me, I mean, playing this side, especially on the attacking area, it is a case of we throw SMGs at a site and see if something sticks. You know, you say to the SMGs, go and clear out A. You hope they can. If they can't, you know, then you hope the AKs can do something on the other side. It is very much first pick dependent for us. At least, like I said, back when I was playing. It's going to be really interesting. One of my old teammates is going to pop into chat being like, wait, that's what you thought you were doing? Opening myself up here. Speaking of which, we have got a couple of the equal players that have made this way over to the A site. And unfortunately, it is Awake who's the only one for Kolegove that's now there to defend it. He hears a bunch of footsteps. Is the bomb there? The bomb is there. So he is right to just hang about here. Does get a nice little wall bang onto Soper. Rushes out a bit headlessly.
Yeah.
And does get taken out by Buki.
It really feels like Kolegove have so far on both of these maps just taken unnecessary risks. I really have to put it that way. Because whenever they're like, oh yeah, mum, did you see that? I got a frag, and then they just get taken down 3 seconds later.
With a bit of a shock here. He spots a player. His gun needs to reload. Someone drops it in from a top. That was not his round to be.
Definitely not. But I mean, it has to be said, we've got a double elimination format. As I've mentioned, we've got 15 different teams from all over Europe. However, we've only got, I think, 3 teams that aren't mixed nationality. We've got Ari Papa, the full-on Greek lineup that literally signed up, I think it was 10 or 11 days ago. We've obviously got German Powerhouse, full-on German lineup as well. And apart from that, I would reckon Snip. Snip full-on... No, Snip aren't full Croatian. I think they have 1 Polish player. So we only actually have 2 teams that aren't sort of, you know, mixed nationality.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, come on, you have to make that one happen.
Back in the day when we had clan base, you had the old nation wars. I used to love it when they would put those teams together and you would vie and desperately play to get picked to represent your country.
100%, yeah. That was like the ultimate dream. It really felt like, you know, as a kid, like, what do you want to be later on? I want to be a pro football player and play for the national team. And that is literally how it felt like. Oh my God, I was, you know, I was able to meet up with X, Y, Z. And
so
I had the honour, the pride.
Quite thankfully, though, PowerTech let us say that Ultra's full French.
Are they full French as well? Oh yeah, that is true. Ultra are, yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh my gosh,
Kolegove with an ace. They wiped the team.
And with that
was
theoretically...
the quickest way. And yeah, that's why Jayska's definitely calling that timeout. He was like, hang the hell on, boys, what just happened? We just lost a round and they didn't even get out of spawn.
But honestly, I mean, if they were able to pick up this map right now, it would... I wouldn't call it a mental disaster, but it definitely wouldn't feel great. Because, let's be honest, Equal had it in their hands. They could have easily snatched this up. And I think the deciding map was going to be District, right?
Yeah, it's the Siders District. Which I feel is a good mixed map for all weapon types.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken now, and this is where I guess my naivety shows, or maybe the fact that I didn't actually read the rulebook before we came into this, is that I guess they have to play this one until someone wins, though. If we go to a tie, it'll be overtime, because they have to decide a winner for this map.
Yeah, no, that is
I now wait for chat to correct me. That would be wonderful if they could, though.
Yeah, that's like the classic one.
But I believe we're going to go, I believe we're going to have to play this one out.
I think so as well. Also because it just plays a massive role in how you're doing in groups. How you get seeded onwards, you know? And at some point, you really don't want to go down to the lower bracket. Let me just have to, especially early on. That is just an absolute. You just have to play way more games. Enemies have way more information, you know, on how this entire tournament plays out. And yes, this is the mainstream of this LAN, where you will find loads of Call of Duty action within the next 3 days for a grand prize pool of €4,000. That is $2 grand for first place, including a sizable trophy that you sadly can't see right now, as well as medals. Then we've got €1,250. This is it right here. It might not look that big. I reckon it's about half a meter, something like that. €1,250 plus medals for second place, and then we've got €750 as well as medals for third place. However, you might have already seen this and thought to yourself, oh, is this what second place finishers get? No, it is not. It is the finals MVP trophy, and we've also got the overall trophy MVP. And the overall trophy MVP player will pick up another €50 for himself, as well as that nice trophy. The finals MVP player, I mean, he's already got quite a sizable amount of money if he ends up
that
winning.
point, yeah.
He doesn't need any extra cash, and that's why he will just be going back home with that trophy.
Looks like we still wait for the elusive restart to take place. Listen, Walking is on 27 kills. He's really woken up in this map.
Definitely. I mean, it seems it's a bit funny on how on the previous map it was Doka just absolutely annihilating everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, he still dropped a 20 bomb right here. But he had, what, 32 thrags, something like that? At least close to that. And Wukong was the one that really wasn't popping off at all, and now he's completely turning things around. Even though this is Equals map, and previously we had, things are definitely switched up. I don't know if we had if whatever the website showed was wrong. And for all of you guys out there wondering, okay, how do maps get decided? Basically, we've got the fantastic FPSchallenge.eu website, where everything is organised, obviously. If you want to get back into CoD4 Pro Mod, just head over to that website, sign up, connect your Steam ID, and that's all you need in order to get cracking in the solo queue. Yeah, you heard that right. We've got a fully working solo queue going on. And on that website, both teams eliminate one map. We've got 5 maps in total. I know previous LAN we had the sort of, the one cast custom map, and then we had that map from Battalion. People voted on how they want to move forward with those maps, and it was quite a decisive vote of, nah, we don't want custom maps. We want the 5 OG maps, and obviously if you've got 5 maps, each team decides one map that they will not play. They get voted out. That leaves 3 maps to still be played. In a best of 3, you need 3 maps. And then both teams pick one map for their own. So it was Crash for Kolegove and our Backlot for Equal.
And since we're in a bit of a timeout here, waiting for these guys to warm up, and I'm having a look over a chat, it has been pointed out to me that I've made a spelling mistake in the name of my stream. I would just like to say that's how I want it to be called from now on. So I'm just not going to fix it. I need to fix it. It's going to bother me.
I mean, go ahead. Did he have a typo with how Stuttgart is spelled or what?
I spelled it with a D rather than a T.
Yeah.
There you go. It's the little mistakes.
But D and T's in regard on switching from German to things just a bit.
They sound about the same, right?
Yeah, they sound. I mean, it depends. Like, it really depends on what sort of accent you have. But it is funny that the T at the very end gets pronounced way differently than the T.
Yeah. So as someone who speaks Afrikaans,
ST at the very start.
Yeah, the D in some regards makes a T sound. So that's where my brain went.
Let's just have a look at what Blub is going to do. Will he pick up the bomb once again? No. But Equal once again going for those slightly delayed nades, not throwing them out immediately. As Blob moves onto that A site. And this sort of feels like a Mexican standoff right now. Nobody really wants to move up.
30 seconds and not a single kill's happened. Both teams know that, like, the severity of this round, the sheer weight that is hanging on whoever wins this round is massive. They're actually even going to go in for a fake. Sprays are going to come in. That's just going to help them identify who's where. Oh, man. Walking with a lovely little pick on Tabuki. Again, he's playing so strong. Blub should go for a full plant here, which he does. And then it's all going to be on Kolegove to try and bring this one back. Blub holding the site. Eladrin has made his way in. Wacky gets the kill onto Jayska. Equal are falling a lot quicker than what they needed to be able to hold this one back. Kolegove going to pull this one back. I promise you that much. As Blub is your last man standing, walking. The man who has been carrying his team this map is the one who gets the final kill, shanked in the back by his teammates for all of his hard work.
Do you still got 3 points for defuse? I mean, yes. Points. Oh, you do. Oh, that was, he decided, I want to be on top of the scoreboard. Realistically, that was not going to happen. What?
Jeez Louise, yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. Man, well, I'm kind of surprised 13-11. The thing is, it was a slugfest. It was so hard to get to that point. Looking at Crash flew through. And yeah, we had 2 timeouts. And it was a real slugfest to try and get that last map in for them.
100%. I mean, on
City Streets,
Crash really felt like, you know what? We're going to be done in about an hour. Because on Crash alone, Doki, I mean, he had what, 22 frags in like 6 rounds or 7 rounds. He was literally, picking up 2.5 plus frags every single round. And then on Backlot, he didn't do too well. I mean, he was still the top fragger, but it wasn't. It didn't feel like they were on Crash, even though it wasn't their map. It really felt like they had it together. They were an absolutely amazing team. Yeah. They knew what they were doing, and then on Backlot, it fell apart. They couldn't get onto the site. Whenever they were defending it, they were just getting wallbanged left and right. And with that being said, honestly, for the deciding map, my prediction would honestly, I think, be Kolegove, because they've got the advantage now. They've picked up the second round. They might even have the mental edge in regards to how they're doing. But I mean, I think City Streets is a great map for a decider because, as you've already mentioned, it's basically got all of it. You've got Market, an absolute brilliant spot to pop off as an SMG. You've got quite a few wallbangs as well as scope spots early on. AK is absolutely vital on this map, especially on defense, in my opinion. And that was definitely what we saw on the previous LAN. And with that being said, if Walk-On can pop off once again, and if neither can perhaps find the odd scope pick here and there, I honestly think they could take it back home. And theoretically speaking, I mean, Kolegove, they finished 3rd place on the previous LAN. They were at the very top of 2nd seed. Yes, Equal, were 2nd seed as well. But if you're sort of facing teams that are sort of equally matched to what you're doing, that is really where I think taking that win back home is even more important. Losing against a team where you're like, okay, boys, we're going to do our best, even though it's rather unlikely that we're going to end up winning this. All right. Losing against a team that is, a million sort of, levels below you, honestly, that's an absolute catastrophe. We don't even have to start talking about that. But these sort of picking up these points against teams that are your sort of biggest rivals is vital in order to stay on top of things.
And it's a motivation booster.
100%.
Listen, you've just lost your first map, not that great. And now what we see, which is it's one of my favorite moments, we get a knife round. Because it's the decided map, you know, you will get to choose the side of the opponent's map that you play. But because this is the decider, they have to decide who starts. So we get to do a knife round. Now, some say the skill in knifing. I say it's absolute sheer luck. About when you press that V button. And I just think it looks hilarious. It is the silliest thing this game has to offer, and I love it. Equal will take the win, though. We'll see. Are they going to be staying, or are they going to be switching? Looks like it's going to be a stay. So Equal are deciding that they want to start defense. Look, at this level, it's more than likely that you're going to be playing both sides, but maybe they feel they can clock up the early rounds on defense, which will put the pressure on Kolegove.
Do you think that City Streets is slightly more defense-based, or how do you reckon do they come to that decision?
I want to say yes. I think it's because you have such solid places to be able to sit and defend from, and it's so varied in where you can sit to be able to defend a single place. I think the mid presence is also going to play a huge factor. Those early smokes really allow the SMGs to either push or they get held back. A lot of these guys I can already feel are going to be rushing over the top of that mid area blindly in smoke and hoping they get something. Now, everyone else in the first round, to jump tact here for a second, everyone else in the first round has actually finished.
Ooh,
so we can
spicy.
give you guys some scores.
I'm not quite sure if production actually are able to pull that up. Can you put up the scoreboard on how teams have played so far? Alright, they're just getting back to me there, so it'll take a matter of seconds. But that will be very interesting to get any sort of information on that, because theoretically that means we should either have a quite decisive two-map matches, or it was either the first two maps were easy peasy. Alright, let's have a look at how they're doing. Obviously, Panda, in the sort of predictions, they were definitely in the top 4. Unsurprisingly, they won two matches already. Alright.
No, so you get 2 points for... Oh, they've played 2 games?
That's
Interesting.
what it's telling
so
me.
they've already jumped into their round 2 matches. Yes, they have. I've actually just had a look. So they started off with Panda beating out Nothing to Lose 2-0, then moving on to the second game, free win. Or does that actually just mean that there is not a team there, so they got an automatic free win? Yeah, okay. So free win just means that they get an automatic
free win because we've only
got
got 7 teams in Group B.
Gotcha.
Basically, out of Group B, only one team gets deleted because obviously we only started with 7. However, on Group A, you get an additional match. Yeah, so that sort of, evens things out.
Even it out, okay. Make sure everyone gets equal points in there. So essentially a buy round gets the auto win, and all of them are going to have that apply to their score.
Who did German Powerhouse lose to?
German Powerhouse lost to SNLLP, the Croatian side.
The Snippy Snips.
Yep,
that was not too surprising. I mean, Snip won previous LAN, and they are one hell of a lineup, especially considering the fact they stayed together as a 5-stack.
Yeah,
for a sizable amount of time. Every single other team out there has, they've had quite a few new additions.
Yeah, Snip took a 13-9 and then 13-5 on Backlot. Now, knowing the German Powerhouse team, especially with Max and that on that, they are not going to be happy with that.
No, definitely not.
I believe them to be a strong Backlot team. So a 13-5 win is big. Having said that, some of the other ones, We Dem Boys lost to Ultra.
What?
Tough one as well. Yep. They lost 13-10 on Strike. It was a good battle. And then 13-3.
What the heck? How?
That was...
Honestly, I had hopes.
That's a tough one.
I honestly thought they were they were going to do quite well.
I mean, I have high hopes, but I have to admit my bias here because, couple of them are my ex-teammates.
I mean, they have
So,
Kickstar, they've got Tiggs, they've got plenty of OG players. I mean, Kickstar feels like a wizard these days.
I mean, yeah, Throwback Thursday was myself, Tiggs, and a couple other guys, and we were still playing LANs started last year together. And they've kept themselves busy in the scene, that's for sure.
Definitely.
But let's keep ourselves busy in this match.
Yeah, exactly. That was You've just taken away my transition. Doesn't matter, however. Let's have a look at what Warkong is doing once again. He was undoubtedly the deciding factor on map number 2 on Backlot. And now it is already a 1 versus 5. Fossoper tries to get those tags in, gets taken out right through that smoke. And of that, it is 1-0 on the deciding map.
So, 3 players yet to get out the starting blocks here, Walking without a kill, Awake without a kill, and Buki without a kill. But these players, as we have seen, maybe just need a bit of a start to get going. So we'll give them a few more rounds to find their feet. SMGs, though, really aggressive. I'm loving the way that Awake's pushed his way into this. He spotted a play, takes out Buki. They're opening up that A side. He has got players coming in from the car park behind him to add on. There is someone in the old window building. Awake's trying to peek him, can't find him yet. Aladrin's cut off that... cut off the rotate.
Nice one.
walking and Awake. Absolute crossfire to take out Doki.
Yeah,
Aladrin with another kill to his name this round, and they are mopping up.
And once again, it's just Soper. And then Wait with the headshot takes them out as well. And Kolegove, these 2 rounds, we didn't see round number 1, but they were, let's just say, rather decisive. Let's have a look at what Aladrin's doing. Rocking another one of those costume skins.
Looks like they felt that A was so open last round, they're going to be doing the same this one. Smoke's going up on the window, really nicely done to also smoke up Garden. Nade's going out now to try and stop the rotate. Buki gets the opening kill for his team. Fake on the bomb. They're just going to try and draw at nades because on A, it is nade central. Well, for either of these bomb sites, it's nade central onto that site. Aladrin with the late carnade. You got to love those cars giving your grenade a late boost. Soper watching on the side as they just now wait for their bomb to go down. Neither is just trying to bait it as best as he can, jumping back and forth. Buki's got a wonderful position in the window to look over the site. Soper picks off Walking. Buki finally peeks out. Unfortunately, he's going to get stuck in a crossfire. And like you said last round, and I will ditto you here, Soper is the last man standing.
And so far, I mean, unsurprisingly, these 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4 situations, let's say they're difficult to pick up. Everyone's like, but you know, XYZ on LAN, why? You know, he picked up the 1 versus 4. It's like, does it happen? Yeah. Is it sort of an absolute miracle play that you maybe pull off once in about 50 tries? Yeah.
We've had a strong start this map ready from Aladrin. As I say his name.
Oh, Doki gets caught from 2 angles right there. And now Warkong trying to move up onto that side. And it is Jessica once again all on his own. Finds the kill onto Warkong. And oh my god. And Wacky just taken out his teammate.
Yeah. What was that about?
What the heck? Oh my god, this is not happening.
There's no way.
There is no way. This 1 versus 4. You know, I'm just getting caster cursed right there. I should have, you know, just mentioned he's never going to do the 1v4 and then... Oh my god, he's in a good spot. Can he pull it off? Oh my god, and he finds Wacky! How on earth? That is absolutely massive. I kid you not.
Here we go for the timeout.
2 rounds down, deciding map, 1 versus 4, and Jessica just picks it up. Absolutely ridiculous.
That's insane. I mean, that was pretty much all the kills he has to his name so far this game. Starting off the round with an early nade kill, finishes off the last one, and starts off this one. Now, no one actually has the bomb in hand for the attacking side, so one of them are going to have to sacrifice in a moment and go back for that. Neither trying to peek over onto that A side, but don't know how useful that's proving to him so far. Awake's been able to make his way all the way up through middle and might be coming in through the back of the teammates in a second. Quick reactions from him means he takes out Soper. And now we have a 2-on-3. Neither with a nice late nade onto Doki. It's the scope on scope, but not with a scope.
And now it is a 2 versus 2. As Neither gets taken down by Buki. All eyes on Awake right now. This could spell a potential disaster. As Equal are looking to pick up another round. Oh, he might get spotted right here though. Trying to move on onto that bomb, however it is Buki to even things out once again.
They've absolutely brought this back. Tied up 3-3, and we were talking about how easily they were able to get into that A side. Kolegove.
And chat's already mentioned. Oh, what the heck? How did? Oh my god! I have no idea how Neither just landed that shot. Someone in chat even said it might have been a 1v5, and what?
It was.
Was it a 1v5?
It was a 1v5, but there was a team kill, I believe.
Oh yeah,
so
true.
Does it count?
Yeah. No. You were right. Yeah, it was 1v5, but then there was the team kill. I mean, theoretically. Oh my god! Neither. Did someone just, I don't know, switch seats? What on earth is going on? Because Neither is an absolute unit right now, and with that, Kolegove do manage to pick up that round.
But it does feel like they actually decided let's try and go B. Let's actually focus on getting to B, which they did, and you know, with Neither being able to open up that side as well as he did, you know, they could make progress. However, saying this, they've decided to switch back towards A. Eladrin's just going to hold that middle area, and the other players are going to come through car park and see if they can push onto that side. Nade's now going out, as Equal still have 2 players focused in on that B area. Not going to be of any help in this scenario, though.
Eladrin, however, I mean, they obviously know where he's going to be, and he is going to get cornered at some point. And the moment he sort of tries to move on to that A site.
Chase got a win.
Oh my god, is he actually moving? Blub? However you're called. That was cheeky to say the least.
Now the defense get eliminated, and speaking of defense, and as wonderfully pointed out in our chat, and I will take the knowledge of Froster on this one. But this is a defense map. I don't think that's ever really been contested or changed much around. This has always kind of been defense leading, and the fact that Kolegove have a 2-round advantage before we reach the half, they're going to be super happy with this. And like last round where they had a decisive A attack, it's now a decisive B attack. All 5 of them are making their way over towards that B side. Wack is trying to push out first. Unfortunately, he gets taken up. The revenge frag is there. Walking, carrying the bomb, Legend takes out Soper.
And you know, by the time Equal are now moving up, it's really too late. They've already got all of the setup going for themselves. And I don't really see an opportunity for them to get on towards this A site. Let's have a look what Jezkar's doing. Oh, he doesn't find the frag, and Eladrin will be the one to take him down.
He whiffed the shot, and then he got stuck on the map. Doki, before he can even switch to him, gets taken out.
What on earth is happening right now? It was 3-0.
Timeout's happening, I can tell that much.
No, definitely. It was 3-0 literally 5 minutes ago. And we've just had 3 easy peasy rounds for Kolegove because they're moving up. And they're just deciding, okay, let's do 5-man B. And by the time Equal sort of, you know what's going on, it's already all over.
Now, first map we were singing all of Doki's praises, but he's sitting on a 0.3 KD ratio on this map. And he is struggling to get out the blocks. And Eladrin, on the other hand, front runner for the team. getting the opening kills, playing exceptional thus far.
100%, undoubtedly. It's just a bit weird on however... Whenever we're like, oh my god, you know what, he is popping off. They do terrible in the next map. I mean, Doki's bottom fragger for equal. It's definitely not been working out at the scope for him so far on this map. And then Wukong is 11 kills down on Eladrin.
Yep.
Which is definitely not what we had expected. But I mean, just considering the fact that, as Frost has also just mentioned, this is a defense-based map. Kolegove are in a great spot to take this really important win back home.
Like I say, even if they lose the next 3 rounds, if we're saying that this is a defense-sided map, you know, going in equally at the half and then you have defense to play, wonderful. I think the real bum for equal here is the fact that they chose defense. They won the knife and they actually chose to defend.
They decided to stay on that side, and it's definitely not paid off for them.
I just love bringing up the scoreboard and seeing a ping of 2.
Oh yeah, that's you know, back in the day when we did LANs, like the best you could get was like 5. Because back then it's things weren't as good. The ping of 1, you know, oh my god. Back then we had rubbish internet because we had a 2 Mbit download. That was all.
Listen, that's not big for back in the day.
No, that was rubbish for back in the day. Like you know, I had a friend who had like 100 and I had 2. Like the best ping I could get is if the server was German, I could maybe get like 65, 68. Oh, and that just felt horrendous. And every single time you're playing LAN, it's like, oh my god, does the AK just do double damage or what's going on? Because you're just hitting bullets that you would have never hit on you know, online tournament.
When I started playing Call of Duty, and this would have been the Call of Duty Not a Defensive, Call of Duty 2, around there. I only used to play online servers over in the US or in the UK because I didn't realize that we had like only 6 South African servers at the time or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize we had that, so I just got used to playing with a 400 ping. That was just life. Life was 400 ping. And then you can imagine the day I connected to South African 7, I'm like, oh my word, what I have missed out on.
When the only time I just spent a bit of, you know, let's go on to the online servers. There were tons of Sri Lankan servers for whatever reason. Like CoD4 seemed to be bonkers in Sri Lanka. I think that was about 5 years ago, something like that, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And obviously on those you had like 210 ping, and honestly it felt, I don't know how you played on 400 ping, because 200 feels absolutely unplayable. It was, yeah, I didn't spend loads of time.
I mean,
playing online.
To add on top of that, my favorite was to play 24/7 rifles only Pavlov, which was just a long distance. So I could only ever kill the people that were sitting still, and I think that's probably why I enjoyed it so much, because if they moved, there was no chance I was hitting them anyway.
Oh wow!
You guys have just tuned in though. We'll go through the usual little blurb here and just say welcome to the Stuttgart CoD4 LAN. It is the FPS and elite camp combination going on here. We got 15 teams. You might have to correct me on that one. 15 teams in this CoD4 tournament. It's currently group stages. This is the first game we decided to pick, and it's already gone to decide a map.
Yeah, all of the other maps matches they've already finished. So obviously we've picked some sort of banger. We didn't do too bad in trying to find an interesting match for you guys. Basically, this is the second Stuttgart 1337 camp, aka Elite Camp LAN tournament. We had a previous one in I think it was April. Honestly, I'm not too sure about that. Production couldn't tell me either. We've got four grand total prize pool. 2k, 2,000 euros for first place, 1250 for second place, and then we've got 750 third place, as well as, you know, nice trophies. We've got an MVP trophy, we've got an MVP Finals trophy, and most importantly, if you want to get back involved in the best esports title we've ever had, and I'm just going to put it out there once again, head over to fpschallenge.eu, sign up. All you have to do is link your goddamn Steam ID, and afterwards you can get started immediately in the solo queue. Yes, the thing everybody complained back then, that there was no solo queue, there was no way of measuring if you were actually good. You'd go on, I think it was called Mirc-Chat, M-I-R-I-I-R-C.
Yeah, the good old IRC.
And then you'd be like, did a little mid plus, and then you'd play them, and you'd be like, these guys are absolute garbage. And then the best part was, you know, being accused of being a cheater, because
this is going to sound terrible. I was so proud of being called a cheater that I, to this day, it's still there. I have a Facebook album of all the screenshots I took of people calling me a cheater on Clanbase or on any other platform, and I proudly kept that.
Yeah, I absolutely loved that as well, because we were playing against this team and it was Crash, and we were on defense. And I got, on the first 3 rounds, I got 3 crazy good spawns on scope. And I got like 5 insta-picks onto Blue House in 3 rounds. And they were just like, oh, fuck off, you're wall hacking. You know, we're not playing this. And I'm like, dude, I'm not wall hacking. Do you want me to send you the replay file? Because it was obvious, because I was just, you know, running up to Blue Building and just rattling down with the scope, and just being a bit lucky, to be honest. And they were like, blah, blah, you're just saying that. I mean, if you send us the replay file, we can't see if you've got a wall hack. Oh, no, honestly, I felt like, you know, teacher telling you, oh, you know, you did well,
yeah.
You got an A star on your exam, doesn't feel anywhere near as good as being called a cheater, even though you clearly weren't. So basically, this tournament, as we've already mentioned, is being held in the 1337 camp in Stuttgart. Technically, it's not in Stuttgart. It's like the next sort of, you know, small, tiny town next to Stuttgart. However, this place is absolutely amazing, which is the clear reason why we came back. Also because Stuttgart is sort of, you know, the middle of Europe. For whoever wants to, you know, the French just travel a bit eastwards. The Czechs and Croatians, they just travel a bit western. There's an airport about half an hour away from here. Plus, honestly, it just has to be said, they've got ridiculously good prices right here.
I just love the idea that you have a gaming center and a hotel in one.
Yeah, gaming center and hotel in one. And I might as well put this out there. I paid 200 for 4 nights, unlimited drinks. There's literally just like massive fridges all over the building that are being filled up 24/7, and they just have incredible prices.
That's what you need.
And actually, they were quite. I think there was like the biggest World of Warcraft. One of the biggest sort of, you know, how do you call them? Clans?
Releases, updates. Oh yeah, and it is like it's like a raid group. It's, yeah.
Third best World of Warcraft guild in the world. Plus, they've also got plenty of space right here. If you want to check them out, it is literally just 1337.camp. That's all you have to know. However, we are going to go... No, I would almost said live, but obviously we're live already. But let's have a look.
After 9.5 minutes, we finally get to continue this.
But that does really show on what the mental state is in right now. Because I already said, you know, Kolegove are in an advantage because they were able to pick up map number 2. And then they're pulling away, and that really puts loads of pressure onto Equal.
Now, as we go into the 10th round now, it is still very much an SMG's game. Eladrin is playing so well over on the... Well, he's played so well everywhere at the minute. He's cleared out the back of the A side, bombs down, and they've pretty much got it secured. The Lego's going to be watching the top yeah, the top of the flower area. Walking's watching the middle. There's two of them actually watching that. Wacky's just watching everything he can. They've got Neith on the backside watching the bomb. Oh, Kolegove with the Wake with the barrel kill takes on Sofa and Chase. Oh, you gotta love that.
And slowly
Oh,
but
little
surely,
barrel kill.
they're moving away. It just has to be
They
said.
are.
4-round lead on the decisive map. Let's have a look what Doki's doing. He was an absolute beast on map number 1, but so far, he's just not been able to pick up these early frags. He was an absolute beast on both Scope as well as Deagle on map number 1. However, he's not been able to land those crucial shots, and that's the actual deciding factor to some extent so far. On map number 1, he didn't miss a single shot. Now it's the third chance whiffed right there.
You know what I do love is that you can hear he's holding his breath in game, and I understand that it's a reflex, but holding your breath is absolutely nothing in Pro Mod. But you do it anyway.
You know,
Watch.
I actually binded the hold breath onto hold right button because it just, I don't know.
That's actually smart.
Yeah, you could just do hold MB2 and then you could just do and shift blah blah. But I was one of the big guys to, you know how you could do mouse button 2 would just lock you into scope, or you'd have to actively hold it down. And I felt like everyone that didn't have it on actively holding it down was a bit of an idiot, because it was because basically like clicking it once again.
I need the toggle.
In order to have full sprint felt really stupid compared to just letting go of the button and being able to sprint at full speed.
All right, Kolegove wake up here in the last few seconds, though. Jasko tries to peek out to stop the bomb plant. Oh, Wacky's not got much time. He's got to rush for this bomb plant. Doki, he cannot miss this one. He's not had a few good shots this round so far. He knows that bomb's going down, and he's going up against an AK who's got loads of car windows to use in between him and that bomb. And it's Wacky that's coming out on top. Doki is struggling.
What on earth is going on with him? And you know what? 32 frags on map number 1. And now he's literally missed 7 shots that round. And it was, he had to plant. And Doki was in a good spot. What on earth is going on right now? Let's have a look at what Neva's doing, though.
Just want to say, Ladron with an opening frag. Again, so consistent.
Yeah, it does feel like he's, I don't know, Mouse Excel is on or something like that. But surprisingly, there were people back in the day that really made Mouse Axel work. I don't know how they did it. I thought it was just absolute rubbish.
Ledrin gets so excited he kills himself with a car. Love it. Love is your last man standing. He's not going to do anything. Were you going to the half 9-3?
Oh my god, this really
tough.
isn't looking good at all. 20-7 for Aladrin. He's literally got quadruple the frags of what Walking's got. He's picked up 20 frags in 12 rounds. That is absolutely massive.
While we have a quick little break here, I'm going to direct the question to chat, which might sound a bit weird, but does anyone remember what the command is to be able to keep the kill feed up on the screen longer so that we can show what's happening in the rounds? Because I forgot.
That is quite important.
It is a good command to have.
You know what actually worked rather well? Honestly, just do ChatGPT. I did that quite a few times in order to try it and find out what it was, but I'm not sure. Let me have a look at what pops up. CG scoreboard banner height, item height, ping text, con. Oh, let's go for that one. Con game message.
I'm not so sure. I want to remember that it wasn't something as simple as just that.
It is 5.
Anyway.
Right? Come on, let's try this. I mean, we might as well put it back. On-screen time for game messages and seconds in game messages. Oh, let's go for...
That is it.
I don't know, 100 200?
Yeah, do 100. Why not? We'll see what
Yeah.
that's like. Power
Let's have a
Tech
look.
coming in clutch. Appreciate you. And it does look like we're stuck again in a bit of a waiting loop. Apologies for the near 10-minute delay and the one timeout, and yeah, we're now in a bit of another waiting situation. Unfortunately, this one's out of our hands. It is down to the players. But as soon as this one's done, we'll get over to our second game as quick as we can.
I think it is working though. So whoever that was, Mr. Powertech, thanks a lot. But I do obviously, understand that the teams want to take this time. A lot is at stake, it has to be said. Equal and Kolegove are one of the absolute top teams, and you don't want to lose out early on against one of your biggest competitors. That's definitely not the way to start. Day number 1. Yeah, you heard that right. We've got 3 days in total with loads of Call of Duty action for you guys out there. The grand final will roughly be, I'm not quite sure, somewhere between 7 and 9 PM on Sunday, to be honest. I haven't fully gotten the schedule down yet. As Neva's trying to find an opening frag over Doki. Will be the one to pick out Wokong. Let's have a look at what he's doing. Oh, absolutely brilliant nade from Neva right there. And with that, it is 3-0.
Jace with the response, they have committed towards the site. They're actually going straight for the plant here, not going to try and fake it out. They might have an nade coming in, possibly. No, yes, no, actually not at all. What are these guys at the top of the B side doing? Awake, unable to see anything though. He's going to be pushing down fences. Does spot one. Blub's going to get the better of him though. And Kolegove for the first time in a while on the back foot. Wacky is your last man standing as he goes up against Soper, Blub, and Jaska. And I can't say he's in the easiest position right now. You can only about see one, and that one player is going to be an absolute thorn in his side, or maybe a deagle in his face as he finishes him off.
It has to be said. If someone's popping off, then it's definitely Blub. I don't think he was called Blub, but chat was already gone by the time I could read how he was actually called. But that is a very, very important round to pick up after switching sides, trying to make things happen. As Doki, I think he actually spotted Neva right there. I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look. No, it was not Neva. Neva's actually moved on to B site. As Doki finds the frack onto Waki. 1 man advantage with that already. And plenty of time left on the clock as well. Doki, he's going to have to be careful about people moving up from market. As Awake will be able to pick him up. Buki, however, with the retaliation. Neva once again trying to play it safe. Trying to find those picks onto the B site.
Walking is making his way down towards that A side where the bomb's currently going down. He's going to peek around the corner. Soper's ready and waiting there. They're going to get this bomb plant all the way through. Neither's going to drop, and I don't know what Equal have changed, but that's 2 rounds in a row.
It's definitely worked. I mean,
and they're on the attacking side.
I don't know. It's the sort of general rules we had. They seem to be wrong.
Yep.
Whenever we say it's defense-based, immediately attackers just sweep with the floor.
Balib with the opening kill there onto Ladrin. Buki with a kill of his own. Kolegove once again on the back foot. They're going over towards this B site. They seem really confident with it. Jaska is going to be bringing the bomb in. Neither's at the top of the street with the scope. Doki takes out Walking. And it is very much a struggle for Kolegove right now. Neither gets the first deagle. Does get tagged up. Lucky him. Wacky takes out Jessica. This brings it back to a 2-on-2. Much more doable now. Doki cannot miss these shots. Unfortunately, does. Shot rings off, going nowhere.
Oh, come on, Doki. Oh, Doki. And now
Wacky's
they've
moving in
actually
here
got
on
an
Backlot.
opportunity to move on to the site as Wacky gets taken down.
Wow.
Bloody hell. 3 rounds in a row.
3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
Can we go for 4?
I mean, the only downside is, yeah, they got 3 rounds in a row, but they've still got a hell of a ride ahead of them. Because
True. Jumping onto
being
Legend very
down
quickly
6
though, he's got a
rounds
front spawn.
is massive.
Oh, I say he's got a front spawn and he's had to fall back because there was an aid coming in. But he is pushing up towards that car park area. Yes, no. He is being pulled away towards car park, and this means that the B push is open again, and Eladrin, their star player, has been pulled away from where he really needs to be. Balab, Soka, cleaning up. Eladrin and Wacky. This is just too much to ask of them right now. Wacky gets 1. Eladrin with the Deagle from behind, but he's got a scope watching his position. He's going to drop into mid. There's going to be someone waiting for him, though. And there it is. Shots come in. He is tagged up. Does get the kill onto Buki. Bit of a surprise there. Was not expecting that. Smoke going down. Doki finishes off Wiki. And this means that Eladrin is your last man standing. He's going to push out. He was trying to pre-spray the right area. Didn't connect any shots. Jaska finishes him off. And oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
4
What is going on right here? If I were... I'm not whiffing it. I'm not cast cursing them. But if you're Kolegove and you end up losing this map...
From 9-3.
Yeah, God, oh God. After, you know, annihilating Equal on map 2, I would be fuming. Genuinely fuming.
Kolegove finally having a good study as they get a couple kills. Balab and Buki both going down. That is SMG's out of play. Awake with a nice nade onto Sopa. And finally, Kolegove doing something here. Doki with pistol in hands, going to see if he can maybe get a pick over on the site. Nope, neither is laying in wait for him. And now, Jaska, man with an AK, dies as I switch to him. Cool.
That.
7-10. It only took 4 rounds. So at this rate, they're definitely going to lose.
At this rate, however, I'm not quite sure if the next rounds are really going to go that way as well. As Wukong initially tried to move on to that A site, now he's just trying to find a bit of spray on towards that A site. Finds Buki, gets tagged heavily, however. And with that being said, Kolegove probably have some sort of an advantage when it comes down to this situation. Jaska will be taken down as well. 1 versus 4 Doki. If you were ever the man to make the absolute miracle happen, today would have been nice. Would have been nice, but
you know, don't worry about us. It's not like we need content. I mean, looking at the scoreboard, Eladrin is just still doing so well for his team. Everyone's a bit spread out otherwise. You know, Sopa somehow 7 kills, beating out his other 2 teammates on 9. But I do wonder what's changed here. How are Kolegove making this work 2 rounds in a row after not getting anything for 4?
Oh, and Eladrin finds another frack. And whenever Equal decide, you know what, we're going to be really aggressive, it just massively backfires.
Buki on last man standing. He's got to do some Jep on catwalk. And he's going to go down to Awake's SMG. 12-7-5 map point. Equal coming back from being a map down to possibly taking this 2-1.
Match point, in fact. It's not only map point, it is match point on the deciding map on City Streets. And come on, Doki. At some point, you're going to have to make things happen as things really don't start off on the sort of right pace. Sopa trying to find an opening as Wacky takes him down. 4, 2 versus 3. And all eyes on Buki. I don't see any... God. Wait, my keyboard. I think my keyboard's just died. Oh my god, this is not what I had in mind, guys. One second now. Okay, the mouse is still fine. Wait. No, I think the our keyboard is fine, production. I think I just whiffed. I might have just whiffed it. But it was a bit weird because I tried every single button. Maybe it went on to sleep mode. However, Buki's actually turned it into a 1 versus 1. Oh my god, this couldn't be any more thrilling. Buki, can he do it? No, it is Waki! And all he has to do now is hold on to that F button, defuse the bomb. And with that, Kolegove will be the ones to take this match back home.
That timing was unreal for him to get that.
Bloody hell. I mean, that was the first match of the day, and it was already an absolute banger.
Mm-hmm.
It was... Every single map could have gone either way. But in the end, maybe it was the extra bit of experience they had from previous LAN. Kolegove able to take that win.
Keeping a good mindset throughout that fight definitely helped them to be able to bring it back in the second too. Looking over here at our groups though, just to update you guys again. So Snip is sitting 2 up over Powerhouse, and after round 1, Stuttgart Kings take down Scary Moves 2-0. We Didn't Boys lose 2-0 to Ultra.
What?
Of course, we just saw this one going down, which was 2-1 in favor of Kolegove. So now we wait for round number 2.
100%.
Round number 2 scheduled to start
at 4
now?
PM. No, 4 PM.
Ah, in an hour.
Yeah, because we've got a 1 hour break between matches, because that's just what teams wanted.
Understandably so.
Yeah,
so unfortunately, we don't even have any games to jump into.
Imagine you know what, guys? You get 2 minutes. After that, you're gonna head back off again.
Listen, sometimes we have that though. That happens.
That is true. That is true.
Unfortunately for stream though, we know what this means. It means that you guys won't see us for a bit. Not too much is going to be taking place for a while until we come back in about an hour.
Most importantly, however, we are going to be there at 4 PM.